SCP-016 is to remain within the confines of a 5 by 5 by 5 meter room at all times, maintained at a temperature not to exceed 0 degrees Celsius. SCP-016 itself is to remain in a petri dish and the containment cube at all times unless directed otherwise by Level 4 or 05 personnel. Full documentation of experimentation of SCP-016 must be submitted before and after samples and duplicates of SCP-016 may be taken. Failure to follow these procedures will result in termination or resignment as Class D personnel. Only authorized personnel may be permitted to obtain samples of and experiment with SCP-016 under BC-L5 containment conditions. If an outbreak does occur despite the following of procedures, directive-based personnel are to implement a Code Sigma lockdown and containment plan. Infected personnel are to be terminated on site by security forces wearing standard mission-oriented protective procedure and anti-biological and anti-chemical equipment. Should the infection not be contained after 48 hours, the on-site nuclear device is to be detonated. Remaining personnel are not to be evacuated under any circumstances. SCP-016 has been shown to survive up to 6 hours in blood and up to several minutes in air. High-intensity ultraviolet light and high concentrations of chlorine bleach have been demonstrated to be effective in sterilizing non-organic materials. SCP-016 is a blood-borne pathogen discovered from a mine worker who injured himself while working in a deep coal seam. Said wound became contaminated with coal dust from the mine, possibly infecting the worker with dormant spores. Over the next several days, SCP-016 proceeded to infect the remaining employees at the mining camp, as well as the CDC crisis team dispatched to deal with the epidemic. Foundation personnel then took over the investigation and terminated all affected personnel. Patient 0 was brought into captivity and the mine shaft was collapsed by an explosive device. SCP-016 has a period ranging from 24 hours to 2 years, depending on the presence and number of other human hosts in the area. First, symptoms resemble the common cold, including itchy eyes, runny nose, coughing, and bloody H's. Phase 2 begins in 48 hours, consists of a controlled form of fever, as the organism causes a small amount of blood to become aspirated in the lungs, creating an effect. During Phase 3, the host crashes and bleeds out, bleeding profusely from every body orifice, including the nose, ears, tear ducts, anus, skin pores, mouth, urethra, and, in case of females, vagina. Blood pressure skyrockets during the final stage. Hosts have been observed to projectile vomiting blood over to distances of over 5 meters. Should the host survive this near-total disease, the pathogen will become dormant once more, returning to an incubate phase. What distinguishes SCP-016 from other strains of fever, such as Ebola and Marburg, in its unusual response to high stress? Should the subject undergo a high-stress situation, the organism will change its survival tactic from rapid reproduction to rewriting of the host DNA and stimulation of rapid cell division. Major psychological changes occur within the first 24 hours, with complete bodily reconstruction occurring within 2 weeks' time. Most hosts do not survive the process due to heavy demands made on the body. An interesting side effect of the transformation is an increased aggressive urge. It is believed that this may be an attempt to maximize the spread of the virus in a manner similar to rabies. On another note, subjects who undergo bodily transformation no longer appear to exhibit SCP-016 properties. However, subjects infected by transformed hosts will still undergo the normal SCP-016 infection process.